Hi, in this video we'll be introduced to non-African prose, that is prose written by non-Africans. And first on the list is The Last Good Man by Patience Swift. By the end of this video, we'll be able to give a plot account of The Last Good Man and also the setting, that is the geographical location where the most events and actions took place in The Last Good Man. We'll also talk about the themes and the characters used by Patience Swift to drive home the message of The Last Good Man. And also we'll also talk about the language and style used by Patience Swift. And at the tail end of it, we will discuss and treat past questions for SSC and UTME as students preparing for examinations. Hi, in this video we'll be giving a plot account of The Last Good Man written by Patience Swift, which is actually a non-African prose. In the story of The Last Good Man, which is actually a very intriguing story that talks about love, adventure, and the cottage lifestyle in the Cornish coastline. It centers on the 57-year-old Sam, who is the protagonist of the tragic hero of the story, who really led a very solitary life without any interference from any person beside his vicinity. The tragic story actually started when the father died trying to save a fisherman with his fish rack, and the mother had to raise him up single-handedly. The story is also intertwined with Isobel, who is a very egocentric, it has a choleric character that does however she pleases without minding the consequences that comes with it. While Sam was a very little boy, he had to work at construction sites, render his services like bringing up concrete and sand, supplying them for their buildings in exchange of foodstuff. The mother actually raised him up with the little that she had, but the economy of the cottage life dwindled that Sam had to leave the rural setting in search for greener pastures. In his life in abroad, he led a solitary lifestyle whereby he doesn't really have any relatives around him to talk to and to communicate. He grew a very corny relationship with the inanimate objects around him. He talked and related to his plates, even a cart. He talked to his kitchen in the house. He talked to virtually every inanimate object he could find around him, since there was nobody to relate with. Intertwined with his story is the little girl he saved from drowning by the coastal line of his house. The little girl he revived became a part of him. He took the little girl as one of his relatives. He felt the girl, he communicated with the girl, but the girl could not talk. So he needed an assistance to raise the girl up, since there were no guardians and relatives of known to be for the girl. He needed an assistance to raise the girl up. He unfortunately for him met Isobel by the coastal region, who also agreed to take care of the little girl. They both started a new life with Sam, Isobel, and the little girl leading a normal lifestyle. While Isobel had just gotten the death certificate of her mother, leaving everything beside and behind, she tried to lead a normal life with Sam. But as unfortunate as we will have it, the police, who got to know that there's a little girl that doesn't really belong to neither Sam nor Isobel, the police actually gave a directive that Sam should return the little girl to their custody, knowing fully well that it doesn't really belong to him. Sam resisted, being the fool that he is, and he got shot. So it actually is why Isobel hid herself in the lighthouse. So it actually is a tragic story that landed Sam, being a very good man that actually wanted to show love to the little lost girl, and then he died. So the next video will be treating the style, the setting, and the language used by Patience Swift in The Last Good Man. Hi, in this video we'll be talking on the setting, the style, and language used by Patient Swift in The Last Good Man as a non-African prose. For the setting, we all know that setting is the geographical location whereby all the events in the prose took place. So for the setting of The Last Good Man, it was set in a rural, rustic cottage life in the Cornish coastline. Most actions and events actually happened within the coastline of the Cornish people. Most actions and events are by the river beach, whereby people actually came, whereby people are found by the coastal region, that is the beach, doing their daily business, especially the tourist people. That's pretty much on setting. The next is style and language used by Patient Swift. The book is written in the third-person narrative perspective that gives the readers ample knowledge of actions of the characters in the novel. Actions not even thought of by the characters, we get to know from the third-person narrative as chosen by Patient Swift. We get to know the innermost thoughts and even the reminiscences of people in the novel. The Patient Swift used this third-person narrative in order to drive home her message in Lonely Days. That's pretty much what we have in this video. The next video, we'll be talking about the themes embedded in The Last Good Man. Hi, in this video we'll be talking about the themes embedded in The Last Good Man as written by Patient Swift. And when we talk about themes, we all know we talk about the central message passed across by the writer to his reader. Number one on the list is marriage. When you talk of marriage, marriage is the number one message sent by Patient Swift to his readers. It talks about the intricacies that makes a marriage successful, the do's and the don'ts. And this was seen in the comparison of the marriage life experienced by Sam's family, both his mom and his dad, and the marriage life experienced by Isabel, both her mom and her dad. You know, these two were actually compared that Sam actually led a peaceful marital life as a child from that of his parents, but that of Isabel, it was nothing to write home about. She actually experienced quarrels and squabbles between she and her family. Another thing is bravery and courage. This was seen in the life of Bethany, the mother of Sam. Bethany was very courageous and brave as to take care of Sam from the tender age of 4, having lost her husband untimely. She was so courageous to train Sam in the right way, but as God will have it and as time will have it, she died untimely to leaving Sam by himself. Another thing is honesty and goodness. This was seen in the character of Sam. Sam is so honest to the fault and so good to a fault that it actually brought to himself a misfortune. How can a man actually get a girl from the who he revives from the beach and brought into his house to live with him without asking any questions? He doesn't really know anything about the little girl, but he took the little girl into his house and fed her, clothed her, and did everything as a father could to his child. So he's very honest and good. It's another thing driven home by Patient Swift. Another thing is blissful ignorance. This blissful ignorance is talking about Sam being cut off from the world's sphere, the world's scenario, the world's system, not knowing what to do at what time, and not knowing what to do as a grown man. How could you as a man get a girl you saved from the beach and then take in that girl into your life, taking her as your child without doing the necessary needfuls by looking for the guidance or the parents of the little girl? That's so awful. But he, being ignorant of the world system, he did contrary, and that actually brought him his misfortune. Another thing is love. Everybody loves love. which was seen in the life of Isobel, that goes about sharing her body in search of love, because she couldn't really get it from the family where she grew up from. The family actually experienced quarrels upon quarrels day to day of their lives. So she went out looking for love by being promiscuous. So the theme love is another major theme in The Last Good Man. Another thing is adventure. It's also seen in the life of Isobel. Isobel is very adventurous. She can move from one country to the other in search of her needfuls, in search of her whims and caprices, without taking note of the consequences it brings. In this theme, adventure, it is seen that she went out looking for adventurous actions without knowing that her mom was actually sick, that she died. Her mom died without Isobel knowing that her mom was in the sick bed and died of cancer. She went out doing whatever gives her bliss. Another and the last thing embedded in The Last Good Man is waywardness. You would see that in the character of Isobel. Isobel is very wayward, very promiscuous. She does however she pleases. She does however she likes, without despite the warnings and the cautions of her mother while growing up. It was seen in the book why when she was a little girl, age 15, she could do whatever on the streets with boys. Even you could see the Isobel with her friends going to the lighthouse to do their promiscuous activities. So these are pretty much the things embedded in The Last Good Man. The next video will be treating the characters in The Last Good Man. Hi, in this video we'll be discussing the characters as used by Patient Swift in The Last Good Man. And first on our list is Sam. Sam is a 57-year-old tragic hero in The Last Good Man. He actually developed an uncanny relationship with the inanimate objects around him, since he doesn't really have any relative living with him. He could talk to his plates, he could talk to his cups, even the food he puts in his mouth. There's a tragic ending in his story where he tried being a father to the little girl he rescued from the beach. Being a father to the girl he rescued from the beach. He died resisting the law enforcement in the Cornish line. Another character is Isobel. Isobel is an eccentric 35-year-old girl in the story. She really led a wayward lifestyle without giving thought to the consequences. She never was proud of herself because she knew what she was doing. What she was doing was actually bad. Her mother died without her knowing as a result of her adventurous escapades. She became the assistant parent to the little girl as saved by Sam, as asked by Sam to raise the girl together. She actually escaped the misfortune that befell Sam while raising the little girl. Other characters in the novel are Michael and Marion. Michael and Marion are actually the friends of Isobel. The friends Isobel could actually cry on to having lost her mother. Marion, who is the wife of Michael, was the schoolmate of Isobel while growing up as a child. So they both were playmates as children in the neighborhood. Michael and Marion are the ones that advise Isobel to do certain things at the right time. And other characters are Sam's mother. Sam's mother, whose name is Bethany, is a very courageous woman, very studious, very hardworking. She raised Sam in a good way, making him to becoming the man that he is. But Sam fell short of the training he got from the mother. And the last character we'll be discussing is Isobel's parents. Isobel's parents they actually didn't really give the names of Isobel's parents, but Isobel's parents are actually the parents that gave us the contrast we needed between Sam's parents and Isobel's parents. They actually fought themselves and they fought each other while raising Isobel as a child. They never really gave Isobel the peace of mind she needed as a child. Isobel's parents are the contrast needed to compare both parents of Sam's and Isobel. So these are pretty much the characters we have in The Last Good Man in Patience Swift's book. In our next video, we'll be treating past questions gotten from SSC and UTME on The Last Good Man.